Hi, everyone. Welcome to Our Two Cents. I'm your host and CEO of GCES, Clinton Smith. I'm here with Galen Bargerstock, our financial advisor and president at GCES. Galen, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing pretty good?
It's a good day, yeah.
Good day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Busy day.
Busy day. Got a lot of caffeine in me, so I'm good.
Yeah. Caffeine keeps America running.
It does.
Yeah. So guys, this is Our Two Cents. You know, Galen's a financial advisor and he meets with people and families and helps them understand the ins and outs of their retirement. Him and I started the company together in our kitchen in 2010. And we've worked with federal employees primarily in the beginning. You know, we work with any families now or anyone. You don't even have to have a family. We'll work with you. And we're in over 40 states now. We're about to go nationwide, and it has been an amazing ride.
It has been a fantastic ride.
Yeah. A lot of it is rolling with the punches, you know?
Yeah, you have to kind of be fluid with all this stuff because, you know, life is happening to all of us at the same time. So your schedule is also intertwining with my schedule and your supervisor's schedule and your sub that might be replacing you if you're not at work that day. So
yeah,
you just got to roll.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're talking about today. You know, our topic today is rising tides. We call it rolling with the punches, rising tides, but we're going to talk a lot about inflation. You know, we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of inflation, of how to protect yourself from inflation, because there almost is no way to protect it. It's going to happen.
Well, I mean, you are going to set some, you know, things in place to protect yourself from inflation, you know, and that is on an investment standpoint. Your pensions aren't going to so much have the inflation protection as much when you're building that pension, but you are going to have cost of living adjustments most likely, you know, depending on your pension in the future. Yeah. You know, so the investments is that wild card that if you really want to kind of hedge inflation and stay ahead of the game, you need to decide where you want to be in the market playing with your assets because, you know, that's going to be where you're going to make the most amount of money.
Yeah. So basically pensions don't really have a curb against inflation?
I mean, they do, but, you know, at a pension, they are in control. And, you know, it's like when I tell people 59 and a half is the best age that you could possibly be because that is when the IRS calls you an adult and you can take over your investments at that age. Anytime that you take over something, you are now controlling it. Same thing with, you know, trying to beat inflation or why an investment on your own is better than an inside pension plan because you're controlling this. You don't have control over that. Yeah. It is the standard they're performing.
Inflation is a huge topic. I mean, it's one of the things that you hear about on the news, whether it's directly or indirectly. Yeah. You know, gas prices have been a thing recently, and they have been a thing over the last couple decades where, you know, gas goes up, that's going to affect people's costs.
It is.
And I think, you know, a lot of times I think you look at inflation over a year rather than over a day.
I do. And it still hits me all the time with, wow, how is that so expensive? Like, we were at the grocery store the other day and the bottle of bleach that we bought was $9.90. And I'm like, I shop. It's not like I have a shopper. Like, how did this all of a sudden become this expensive?
Yeah. Cigarettes. Cigarettes are the number one thing. We don't smoke anymore, guys, but I mean, like everyone, we smoked in our 20s.
They were $1.49 a pack whenever I was a kid.
Yeah, that's because you're so old.
It is, yeah.
They were at least $3 and something whenever I was able to legally buy them. And I didn't smoke cheap cigarettes. You sound like you were smoking Jacks or something, like the grossest cigarettes. Marlboro Reds, that was your cigarette of choice.
It was a choice, that's for sure.
Yeah, I do remember, guys, this is a funny story. I made Galen quit smoking once.
Twice,
actually. And he is such a jerk when he quit smoking that we had, it was almost like T-Mobile minutes that they would roll over, you know what I mean? That I had 5 things a day I could say, you're wrong, I'm right. And no matter what, he had to accept it. And that was how we got through him quitting smoking. Or at least that's how I remember it.
Yeah, that's how you remember it. That's the recollection that you have. Because the last time that I quit and the final time I stopped smoking, I didn't tell you at all. I just did it. And a week and a half later, you're like, what is wrong? What is going on?
See, that's the point.
No, it's because
that's the point.
It's because
that's
I was being mean and I told you something because you noticed I wasn't smoking, and then automatically.
That explains why you were such a jerk for the last week. That's what I said. I remember this.
Yep.
Yeah. Rolling with the punches.
Rolling with the punches, right? Yeah. But I specifically didn't tell you, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. And then things made so much more sense when you did. Yeah.
I was pleasant.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. But that's where inflation, cigarettes is an example. That's something that someone chooses to buy that also has inflation. Yeah. There's a lot of things, alcohol, cigarettes, all of those vices, those are all things that no matter what, people are still going to want to buy them because they want to. Do you know what I mean? There are things that are being infected by inflation right now. Our electric bill is through the roof, guys. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else looks at their electric bill every month, but you shouldn't, because it's very depressing on how much money goes to electric.
I think you should, unless you're on a budget plan and you're paying your bills like that.
Yeah. Speaking of, flashback to last week's episode, everyone remembers Galen doesn't even open his bills, so...
No, I don't. And I don't think we're on a budget plan either.
No, we are not on a budget plan. We should be, because our electric, guys, it increased so much. And we've talked about solar panels before. We put solar panels on our house. That doesn't even help, where we still have, $500-600 electric bills every month. And that's across the board for everyone right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and inflation isn't just, everything is rising costs and you're thinking, oh, well, that's a luxury item. I can't afford to buy that. It's not that things are luxury items anymore. I mean, to me personally, a luxury item might be something that you have two of, maybe because you live in Pennsylvania and you have a house in Florida and you have two ironing boards or something like that. That to me is more of a luxury than just having an ironing board. And that's a bad example because obviously an ironing board is not a luxury, but you know what I mean.
We also have two ironing boards, so we're living the life. Granted, one of them's gross and the thing's like all falling off of it, but it's a backup. I don't know why we have that still.
I have no idea why we have two. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So, guys, our 2 cents, we're going to talk about health, wealth, and happiness as it relates to finance. Galen works, with a lot of federal employees, families, anyone that's looking to learn more about their retirement and their finance. You don't have to be at retirement's doorstep to give us a call. We work with young people all the time, helping them set themselves up and get them on the right track. All you have to do is give us a call. Number's right here on the screen, 888-391-3465. You can give us a call while we're on this next break and set up an appointment to meet with Galen. It's that simple, and you'll know within an hour and a half all the things that you have for retirement. So, guys, we'll be right back in just a moment.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Do you own an annuity? Are you aware of what type of annuity you own? For years, annuities have been cornerstones of retirement planning, but they're not all created equal, and your current annuity might not be serving your retirement goals. The good news is that rising interest rates could mean better guarantees, better benefits for your annuity, and if your annuity is not working for you, when would you like to know? Call now for your complimentary annuity review today.
Welcome back, guys, from our 2 cents. Man, normally I am not a fan of going to commercial breaks, but the people on those commercial breaks, handsome.
They are. I love the commercials. I love the commercials because it's the first time that I see them when we're sitting here watching them come up for the first time, and I'm like, wow,
yeah,
that's what we created. That's cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. A huge shout out to our production team and everyone that is behind cameras that are making sure we sound good, we look good. we've had such an amazing opportunity with our 2 cents. We've been super successful in working with people to help them understand their finance and retirement. So we're super blessed to have this platform that, thank you to everyone that's watching and the people that have supported us. You know, we've had clients that have been with us throughout the years, and I just want to give a shout out to all of those people at home that are watching, that share our videos, that keep up with us on Facebook. It's super cool that we've been able to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have a couple people that will reach out to me after they watch an episode, or, you know, maybe a person I haven't talked to for a while, they do watch an episode and they call because I said something. They didn't need anything, but I said something that triggered something in their head and they wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the give and take. Once you have a financial advisor that you really like, you're going to talk to them for no reason sometimes.
Yeah. And guys, we do a ton of events at GCES. We have some different events coming up this summer. Please check out our website, gces.us. All of our events that we do are open to our clients, and you can come. I know that we're going to be having a transcendental meditation event coming up this summer. Mm-hmm. We're doing some different events with our Chamber of Commerce for a financial fitness series that's going to be going on this summer. But stay in touch, because there's definitely some cool things coming up. And next week, we're actually going to be bringing in Shauna Jones. She's our marketing officer, our chief marketing officer, and she's going to be talking about some of the other cool stuff that we have coming up too. So there's some really exciting things that we have going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All while rising tides, rising prices.
Everything's through the roof. You know, I'm getting gas the other day in New York, and I think it was like $5.95 a gallon, and then I'm coming back, and I know the different, you know, New York City versus a rural area is going to be different, but I think it was like $4.19, and it was just, you know, a day difference, and it's not really usually that bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, just gas prices alone, once they raise, well, now the amount of money that you have available to put towards savings, you might be pulling back on what you're putting into savings to help yourself manage raising inflation and raising rates on everything. So it's a very big thing.
Yeah. Now, I know earlier you said that pensions don't really adjust. They do in a way.
They do. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just that you don't have control over that pension plan. You don't have the control to have that growth that you want. And if you're doing, you know, say your 401k or IRA, something for retirement, you have the ability to choose how you want to allocate the market and where you want to be. And the higher that more risk that you want to put out there, the more return possibilities that you could have. So it's the risk versus reward. So if you're risking more money and it's riskier, you're making more money, you're controlling that, you're making it larger, which is going to help you with inflation in the future, because the larger amount of money that you have to pull from for the necessities of what your pension or Social Security doesn't pull, the more money you're going to have for your family.
Yeah. And we're the obvious choice to help with all of these things, guys. You can literally call us. We can answer questions about your pension. We can answer questions about your investments and help you see really what it is that you have and if you are protected against inflation. There is one other place that I know that you can get some protection from inflation, and that would be Social Security. They do have that, right? Cost of living adjustment?
Social Security gives cost of living, but, you know, Social Security is going to be like, hey, we'll give you 0.3% this year, we're going to give you 8% this year. So it's not like it's a standard, you know what's going on. The inflation rate of Social Security or the federal pension is going to rely on the state of our economy, you know, and it might not be going up, and it might be going up a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So
but there is something built into Social Security for that too.
It is built in, yeah. There's cost of living adjustments, so you know that if you're 62, your purchasing power is going to be moving with you when you're 72. It's just the investments is that wild card that could ultimately pay off more.
Yeah. I know as far as inflation goes, you know, I just mentioned it earlier that you look at it more of on an annual basis. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people look on it as a daily basis. You know, gas has gone up, electric's gone up. I want to bring up whenever we decided to remodel something at our house. Mm-hmm. And what was it, COVID or something like that happened, and lumber prices went through the roof.
Yep.
There was nothing we could do. The ball was in motion, and the ball was in motion where by the time that we decided we were going to do it to a week later of actually purchasing the stuff for it, demo had happened, the stuff is being purchased, that prices went through the roof where we ended up paying almost half or twice as much
for wood,
for
right?
lumber, for all of the products and stuff that was going into construction. And I think that, that's how I think a lot of people look at inflation, where I think it's almost outside of someone's control to be protected from it, because it's going to happen in ways that you can't control. We can't control gas prices. We can't control lumber prices. And all of those things go into living life.
Yeah, I mean, take food, for instance. You can't technically help yourself with the cost of rising prices in food. It just really depends on what you're doing, how you're preparing it for yourself. Are you preparing it for yourself, or are you ordering out?
Yeah.
And if you're ordering out, you're spending more money. Or just say DoorDash, for instance. If you're ordering, food to your house versus going out to a restaurant, it is now more expensive as well, but it's even cheaper to go to the grocery store, pick up what you need, and then create it yourself, and probably more delicious.
I really love our grocery store.
Yeah. We know everybody there.
Yeah, we do. We're the people that go to the grocery store every day after the gym, because every day we're like, okay, this is what we're going to have for dinner, and that thing changes day to day. I don't know how people can go to a grocery store and buy 2 weeks worth of groceries and then actually make that food.
We are not freezer people. So we know we're not freezer people.
Yeah.
We've tried. We actually bought a pig one time and cleaned out, the deep freeze just was never plugged in, and we lost an entire pig.
Yeah.
So we're really bad with the deep freeze. I just looked, and we have 3 ham looking things in the fridge, and I know we're not going to eat them. We're going to end up giving them to somebody.
Yeah. It's, that's where a lot of families are different. Some people are into freezer food. Some people are not.
Yeah.
Some people can decide what they want to eat next Saturday. And some people can't, and we are not those people.
No, you ask me every morning what we're going
What
to
do you want to have for dinner?
today.
Yeah.
And some days I have no idea, and I'm like, why again?
I am the one that comes up with all of the food ideas, guys. In the house,
I don't think so.
I am the one that creates the amazing meals, and Galen is the one that cleans up after it.
I don't think those vegetables are going to wash themselves, so I do my part.
Yeah. He even rinses stuff sometimes when it's not supposed to be rinsed, like olives.
I do. And if there's something laying out on the counter that looks dirty, it's going in the dishwasher.
Yep.
Cleaning up.
We do have that rule, though. I bet you everyone has little weird rules like this, that if it is on the counter, it stays. If it goes into the sink, go ahead and take it away, Galen. Deal with it.
It's true. But if it's really, really messy looking, it might go.
That's so funny. So guys, we don't just have this show to talk about our dishwasher habits. We also deal with finance and retirement. There's a number here on the screen. You can call us. You can meet with Galen on Zoom in your house or at our office in Indiana, Pennsylvania, 888-391-3465. We can answer all the questions you have about Social Security, pension, investments, all the things. We'll see you in just a moment.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Imagine not having to face your retirement with the same big box solutions as everyone else. In these economic times, you deserve a fresh perspective that includes a personalized financial plan and a map to your retirement from an independent fiduciary advisor whose focus is solely on you. Call the number you see here to schedule your complimentary review right now. Welcome back to Our 2 Cents, everyone. I'm your host, Clinton Smith, and I'm here with our president and financial advisor at GCES, Galen Bargerstock. Galen, I know you're doing great.
Always doing great.
So we're talking about inflation today and, the way that inflation affects people. and you deal with this every day because you are a financial advisor and you deal with people planning their retirement. But one thing I think that no one has ever asked is, what do you want to do in retirement? And hold on, let me preface this a little bit. I'm going to give my example, my answer, because I know that you like to answer as quick as you can, and it's not the answer I want you to give usually. So I'm going to give my answer.
It sounds like my retirement's been planned.
Nope, not yet. So to me, so the question is, in your retirement, if money was not an issue, what is it that you would want to do? Like, what is your retirement dream, right? So mine is kind of like general. Do you know what I mean? To me, I would love the idea of going on a retirement, and not for all of retirement, but for like a good, I don't know, 5 years, stay on a cruise ship and just cruise all around the world and do that whole live on a cruise ship for retirement thing.
5 years seems extreme, though.
Well, I don't know if I want to go around the world in 180 days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't know how long it takes to get the whole way through. I would assume less than 180 days at this point.
I'm down, but the only thing that I would say is that maybe a year tops, because I do know about the cruise ship. I know how much it costs to be on a cruise ship for a year. It is something that people do.
Yeah, but money's not an option. Money doesn't matter in this scenario.
Still, my time is going to matter, and I don't know if I want to live on a cruise ship for 5 years. That's intense.
Okay, a year and a half maybe.
Maybe a year and a half. A year, I'll give you.
We'll talk at 6 months.
We'll talk. Yeah, okay. But no, I mean, the idea behind that is we would get to see the world. And I love going to new places because I like to experience the different cultures and see what's around there and how they're living. And, you know, sometimes it makes me feel great about our lives because I see how depressing some of these places are. But some of these places that we feel that are depressed, they feel like we are the outsiders that have no wealth because we don't know ourselves, we know money.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we've spent a ton of time in different countries and, you know, one of the cool things is that we do get to travel for this and what we do. So we have been blessed in the ability to travel and see different places. So, you know, guys, if you're watching this at home, find us on Facebook and send us a message and tell us what your dream retirement is. You know, I'd love to hear that from some of our clients and people that aren't even our clients yet, and we'll share them on upcoming episodes. But, you know, you still didn't answer the question, though. What would your dream retirement look like if money wasn't an option or an issue?
Well, I don't think that the money being an issue would be anything for my retirement. I think that my dream for retirement...
Don't pick at the question, just answer
I'm
it.
not picking at it. I mean, I have no expectations for retirement because I try to live every day as if it's something that I want to do, not it's something that I have to do. So to me, being a financial advisor and helping people, I don't think that I'm ever going to be fully retired. I think that people are going to constantly still ask me questions. And, you know, am I going to have time to myself? Yeah. And am I going to work? I'm not going to work a lot. You know, I'm not saying that I'm going to be out there until I'm 85 pushing it. But I will have conversations and help people. So to me, it's just to be relaxed. And I already don't wake up with an alarm. And that's a popular, you know, from what I hear from people, they just don't want to be with an alarm anymore, a 9 to 5.
And this is why I answered the question first.
Because I gave an appropriate answer that I had feelings about?
You just want to argue with the question and not answer it. You definitely have a dream of retirement, spending time with dogs. You want to live on the water.
I do.
But do you know what I mean? You want to live someplace warm, not Pennsylvania. Like, those are all things that I think that you would want in retirement.
Yeah, but it's also stuff that I think that we could achieve while we're working and still maintain a work-life balance.
Sure.
I mean, right now, you want to sell our house and, you know, snowbird. So that, you know, moving to a beach, I don't think that we are going to wait until retirement to have that happen for us. I think that that's going to happen for us naturally a lot faster.
You know what's really kind of full circle right now is that we here are on TV arguing about retirement when Galen hears that all the time from people on Zoom.
Yes, yes. But I don't have any pet peeves, so it's okay if Clinton goes off.
No,
like
I
this.
thought of this while we were talking about this. Your number one pet peeve is answering questions or people asking you questions and then asking the same question over and over again because they didn't listen to you the first time.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just, that goes not so much for clients, because clients can ask questions 1,000 times and Galen will answer it. That goes for employees and people in his life. He does not like having to answer questions twice.
Yeah, that is true. So I don't like to repeat myself 1,000 times about the same topic. Yeah, you got me there.
So, we're talking all about statements, guys, and, inflation. And, there's a lot of different ways that inflation can affect you in your day-to-day life. And there are ways that you can protect yourself in your investments and in Social Security and your pension. There are things built into that. But a lot of times, I don't think with the way inflation is rising, do you think that everyone's retirement plans are matching that pace?
I think that it is better than it used to be. And I think that a lot more people are educating themselves about what needs to be done. Back whenever I started this, a lot of people would just be in the safe, I call it the sideline account. You're not really playing the game. You're just sitting there basically in cash, with your investments. You're putting in money, you're getting the matching money, but you're not taking advantage of it. Well, nowadays people are, playing the market a little bit more, educating on it, hedging the inflation. But, it's different. People are more aware.
Yeah. And I really think, we talked about this before. When we started GCES, people, I don't really think, were relying on financial advisors as much as they are today. Things are so complex now. There's 1,000 different products. There's 1,000 different types of products that you can be in. Mm-hmm. There's so many different places that a person has to call on the path to retirement. All of those places have separate rules and separate regulations that you have to follow when you're going to retire. And that is why you should give us a call, because we are that obvious choice that we can help you with all of those things.
Yeah. It's, you're building all this wealth, you're hedging inflation, you're growing your traditional IRA as big as you can, but you also have to remember that at one point you're going to have RMDs, the required minimum distributions. So, you just have to be aware that that could also bring you up and have you pay more taxes if you're doing it inappropriately.
Yeah. So go out and find us on Facebook right now, guys, and send us a message. We want to hear from you and hear what if money wasn't a thing, if it didn't matter how much money it costs, what would your dream retirement look like? We're going to share those on upcoming episodes, but we would love to hear from you guys. So please find us on Facebook and send us a message. In the meantime, if you want to have an appointment with Galen and go over your finances, give us a call, 888-391-3465. See you next week.